What's going on, everyone? Happy Friday. And today we're going to call this a Finance Friday because we're going to talk money, and not in a physical sense. We're going to talk about it on an emotional and spiritual level. So let's get into it.
Cerebral flow in my head I go. Try reach me now but my cell line slow. I keep it low, it's like where I go. Try teach me how but I said I know. People know me like you like hope, and I need to know premise when I show. I collect my dough, do my thing and go.
First thing to note about money is its importance is something that society has placed on it, which means when society takes away that value, it's not going to have any importance, right? But regardless of that, in the society we live in right now, money is important. And so with that, I think it's important to understand your relationship with it. What are some of the beliefs that you were taught and were ingrained in your system from a child up until now? How do you feel when you're spending money? How do you feel when you're getting money? What are you willing to do for it? What is your attachment to it? These are all very important questions to understand what your relationship is to money. And why your relationship to money is important is because, as I mentioned earlier, it's something that is important in our society right now. Just like your relationship to your parents, just like your relationship to food, just like your relationship with exercise, how you interact, think, and feel about all these things matter when it comes to how you interact with it. It matters when it comes to the decisions you're making about it, because all the decisions we make in our lives come from beliefs that we have. If I believe doing something is wrong, all the actions I take are going to be based off of that belief. So I'm not going to do said thing. I'm going to avoid things that I feel goes against my beliefs. I'm going to operate in ways that do align with my beliefs. So our beliefs manifest itself in the decisions we make every single day. So if you believe money's not important, well, you're not going to do anything to get it because it's not important to you, right? If you believe money is the most important thing, you're going to do whatever you can to get it because that is what you believe about it. So it's important to really understand that and foster that relationship that you have between yourself and money. Because when you can do that, now you're at a even playing field where you can grow from that situation, but where you're not even knowing where you're starting, you don't know where you're going. And then the second thing is understanding what you want the money for. So often, right, we have these goals. I want to be a millionaire. Why? Like, what do you need $1 million for? Like, let's be real. So when you think about yourself and what you want for your life, you could probably have that life without needing $1 million, but you're limiting yourself and you're stopping yourself from doing those things because you're waiting until you have $1 million. When in reality, things that you want don't cost $1 million, and you don't even need $1 million. So I would recommend, and you can do this however you want to do it, but start a little backwards. So actually write out what you want money for in your life. Do you just want to be able to afford a nice apartment? Do you want to be able to buy a home? Do you want to be able to take 4 or 5 vacations a year? Like, what is it you want? And tally all that up to a tangible number, and then make that your money goal. On the reverse end, you could set out and say, okay, yeah, I want $1 million, and then you can work backwards on how you're going to spend $1 million. But when you do it that way, I have a feeling that you'll just put in ridiculous things to fill out that number, right? Like if I gave you a stipend of $80,000 a month, which is essentially close to $1 million, right? So if I gave you $80,000 a month and I was like, go ahead and spend that, would you be able to without rolling it over? You wouldn't. I mean, like, let's be real, you wouldn't. Yeah, you may take a vacation, okay. You'll pay your bills up, okay. Maybe you'll give some away to your family. Maybe you'll buy a new car. Maybe you'll put a little money off to investing. But all of that is still not going to cost $80,000. So what you're going to be left with is maybe a good half of that, $40,000, if not more. And then you're going to be like, well, I got to spend this. Let me just go buy another car. Let me go buy a boat. But you don't need those things, you get what I'm saying? So sometimes we have money in excess, and it just causes us to buy ridiculous things that we didn't need. And that's how we actually stay broke. So instead of going out and buying a business or buying something else that's going to generate you more money in the future, or at least give you satisfaction in your life, you're going to be spending it and blowing it on materialistic, unimportant things. And that's why it's important to get clear on what your values are so that you're never stepping outside of that. If you don't value materialistic things, it doesn't matter how much money you have, right? You're not going to buy that stuff because that's not important to you. You don't place a value on that. To spend the money that you do have on tangible materialistic things before you work on building true wealth for yourself and true wealth for the generations that's coming after you, all that money it's money wasted. And that's my belief system and my value, right? Like, I value this side more. I value that building wealth, owning businesses, setting up systems so that future generations can continue to live off of that money. Like, that's more so where I would direct my money, right? And then once I've done all that, if then I want to go buy the Gucci and the Louis and the unnecessary brands of things, then sure. But I think doing that and also investing in yourself, in your skills, maybe you go out and learn languages and your experiences, you go and travel the world, you meet and connect with more people, you share your spirit and your soul with all tides of the world. I think those are valuable things to put money towards. They go a lot further. You get what I'm saying? So it's not just about getting money, it's also about having the financial literacy and the understanding to be able to sustain it. Many times, and you see it all the time with the lottery, you give someone that's financially illiterate a bunch of money and they have no idea what to do with it. And then you look down the road 6 months to a year and they're back to zero. And then in your mind, you're like, how did you spend $3 million? But in the reality, if you were in that situation, you'd probably do the same thing. You'd probably do the same thing because you don't know, and that's okay. I think that's where we fail, is not being able to say I don't know and seeking the help. Because with that lottery money, you could go and invest in a financial coach and a financial class to understand how can I best use this money. Education goes a long way. I feel I kind of got off topic there on a little tangent, but yeah, so the point of me going on that spiel is that we have to understand what we want our money for so that we can set realistic goals for ourselves. So now things don't seem so far in advance. And that can be short term, maybe just in the next 12 years, you just want to be able to save a year's worth of money. So now when you're going to work every day to a job, maybe you're not that happy about, you're okay with that because you know this is a short term this is a short term end to a means, or means to an end. Short term means to an end. Yeah. So like I'm doing this for a short period of time to get this goal. And once I get this goal, I'll move on to something different. Maybe your short term goal is like, I just want to pay my house off. So now you can put an actual number to something you're trying to obtain and then focus on that. Because you can always keep moving up. But when you're starting here and you're trying to jump to here, that's a big gap, and it can be discouraging to you. You can want to get up because it seems so far reached. But when you're right here and you want to set a goal that's just right above that, that's more tangible. And then when you get here, you can set another goal a little higher, and then before you know it, you will be at that million, or not even million, but whatever that high goal is. Or you may realize that once you on your journey there, somewhere in the middle, you realize, you know what, I'm happy right here, and I don't even need that. So something to think about. That's just what was on my heart and mind today. I had no plan for this. In fact, I was going to talk to you about the difference between stocks and bonds. We'll save that for another finance video because I felt that this was more important to say right now. So if you like this video, you know what to do. Please give me that thumbs up. Share with someone who you think might need to improve and understand their relationship to finances to help them on their financial journey. Knowledge we gain is important, but it's the knowledge we share that makes a difference. So please, please, please do share this video. Comment anything you'd like to comment, and I'll catch you in my next video. As always, don't forget to crush it.